Good morning to all. My name is Renji. I've joined as new faculty and HOD in computer science, and I hope am I audible to you? Somebody can say yes.
Yes, miss.
Okay. So my name is Renji. I'll be taking embedded systems for you in 8th semester. You have a subject named embedded systems, CS 404, slot B, embedded systems. So first of all, let me take your attendance. Who's roll number 1? Please say your attendance.
Present, Miss.
Roll number 1, say your name
Abhilash.
also.
Abhilash. Present, Miss.
Abhilash, roll number 1. Okay. Then come on, speed up, please. Roll number 2. Who's roll number 2? Number 3, absent. 4, 5, 6.
Present, Miss.
Number 6. Who's number 6? Anushri.
Actually,
Okay. Number 7.
Present, Miss.
Number 8.
Present, Miss.
Number 9. Absent. Number 10. Number 11. 12. 13. 14. 15. Please say your attendance. Okay, I won't notice if you put it in chat box. 12 absent, 13 absent, 14 absent, 15 absent, 16.
Present, Miss.
Number 16. Who is number 16?
Present, Miss.
Your name?
Idila Jemme.
Okay. Number 17.
Present, Miss.
Number 18. Number 19. 20. 21. 22. 23. 23. 24.
Present, Miss.
24 is present.
Yes, Miss.
Your name?
Shabana.
25. 26.
Present, Miss.
27. 26 is present.
Yes.
Okay. 27. 28. 29. 28 present. So please unmute and say your attendance. Okay. 28. 29.
Vishnu P. Present.
28 present.
Yes. 29. 28 also.
29 also present. Who is 29? Please say your
Vishnu P.
attendance.
Vishnu P.
Okay. 30.
Present, Miss.
Amrita.
Yes.
Okay. 31.
Present, miss.
Ashwati. 32.
present, Miss.
Yes, miss.
Your name? 32.
Tidina.
Didina. 33. Who's 33? Is it Harita? Just unmute and see your attendance. Number 33. Number 33, just unmute and say your attendance.
Present, Miss.
Okay. Number 34.
Present, Miss.
Is it the last number, number 34?
Yes.
Okay. So, I hope you can. You can hear me. And now I am going to introduce the syllabus of your subject, and that is embedded. You should first understand what your syllabus is, and then only we can start the class. Can you see the screen? Can you see the screen? Somebody say yes.
Yes,
Because
miss.
I won't be able to see chat now. I'm only viewing my screen. Okay. Can you see the subject embedded systems? CS 404, code is CS 404, 404. And this is slot B. And here you can see the reference subjects. Can you see the screen? Hello? If there's any break in connection, please let me know, okay? Who's roll number 1? Roll number 1.
Hello, Miss.
Abhilash, please let me know
Yes,
if the
miss.
connection goes off. Okay.
Okay.
So this is these are the textbooks, the reference textbooks, and here we have, as you know, you're familiar with the module. There are 6 modules. The first module, we'll start from first module, and before going to that, let me introduce the textbooks that you should refer. Notes will be given along with the class. So the first module begins with fundamentals of embedded systems, and the textbook you should follow is Wayne Wolf, the reference text 1, Wayne Wolf text. It is soft copies available. So I'll be also the notes is also available. So you should just read the textbook and then study the notes well. Okay. Anyone can respond. Okay. Otherwise, I think I cannot continue further. If you respond, then it's easy for me to continue further. Okay. Is it clear to you what I'm saying? Can you understand what I'm saying? Hello? Okay. No, you just unmute and answer. Okay, I can't see the chat box. I'm not looking at chat box now. So first module is Wayne Wolf, the first textbook, and then all the second module, second, third, fourth, and half of sixth module comes in the textbook Shibu KV. So this textbook Shibu KV, the fourth reference textbook, it covers almost 60% of your syllabus. Shibu KV, Introduction to Embedded Systems, the fourth textbook Shibu KV. This covers most of your syllabus. So if you're going to buy the textbook, then you can buy the fourth text, that is Shibu KV text, because it covers most of the syllabus. And this Wayne Wolf, it covers only one module, the first module, half of first module and half of sixth module. That will be given to you. So you don't need to buy the textbook. But if somebody is interested in buying the textbook, then the textbook that you should buy is the fourth textbook, Shibu KV. It is available in library also. So this most of the questions also come from this textbook for university. Then the sixth module, the fifth module, RTOS based design and interrupt handling. All these sections, the entire, around 3/4 of fifth module comes in Raj Kamal text. That is the third textbook in your syllabus. So these are the 3 textbooks which covers the syllabus. One is the first textbook, Wayne Wolf. The second one is the third textbook, Raj Kamal, and the fourth and the third book is Shibu KV text. So these 3 textbooks will cover your entire syllabus, and out of which 60% of the syllabus is covered in Shibu KV text, the fourth textbook, 20% in first book, and 20% in third book. So this is the structure of the textbooks that you should follow. Can you understand me? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, miss.
Okay. So hope you understood which all textbooks you should follow. Then, now coming to the syllabus, you have 6 modules. The first module is an introduction to embedded system, and then the second module goes into details, then design and development, then finally its deployment in various areas. So we are just going to I'm just going to introduce to you what an embedded system is. Syllabus, you can if you want, I can pass it to you, or you can download it from the net. Okay, so let us begin with what an embedded system is. Have you heard of embedded systems? Hello, can anyone say what an embedded system is? What do you mean by the term embedded? The English word meaning of embedded. Hello? Even if it is wrong, it's okay. You can just respond. We'll correct it. Or shall I call any one of you? Harida. Harida. Hello? Okay. Well, what do you mean by embedded? That word embedded. So I just give an introduction. So embedded systems, in embedded systems, we come across many devices, and the word embedded means it is hidden inside, hidden somewhere. It can be hidden inside some devices, or it is a program. It can be anything that is hidden in some other thing. So here we are dealing with embedded systems. So a system which is hidden inside is called an embedded system, and even though it is hidden inside, it is performing the task that is assigned to it. Whatever task is assigned to the system is done clearly and without any intervention from external user. So we can define an embedded systems as an electronic or an electromechanical device. And where do you come across these devices? We can see devices. We come across these devices in our day-to-day life. Can you give me some examples of such devices which we use in our day-to-day life? We come across embedded systems every day in our day-to-day life. So what are some of, can someone give an example? So Amrita had told that there is something that is attached to another thing. As the meaning of word embedded is something you can attach many things, like you can attach as a monitor to your cabinet. You cannot say that computer, it is embedded system. A computer can or a keyboard can be attached to the motherboard, but you cannot call keyboard as an embedded system. And embedded means something that is designed for a particular purpose, and it is hidden inside another system. You cannot directly control the system, but once it is designed and embedded inside and hidden inside another system, we have no control over that system. So for example, examples of embedded systems are like, so somebody had told telephone. Yes, telephone is also an embedded system, but the older versions of telephones were purely embedded systems. But the new versions of what the smartphones, we cannot call it as an embedded systems, because we can load our own applications into a mobile phone, just like what we do in a computer system. So you cannot call mobile phones the smartphones as an embedded system, but there are embedded systems, as I said, they are electronic or electromechanical devices that are designed for a specific function. They are devices that are designed for a specific function, and it is a combination of hardware and firmware. It contains not only a hardware part, but also there is a firmware part. So the definition goes like this: an embedded system is an electronic or an electromechanical system which is designed to perform a specific function. It can do only one particular function for which it is designed, and you cannot change that functionality. Once it is predetermined and once it is designed for a particular function, it will not be alterable by the end user. So it is and also it is a combination of both hardware and firmware. Firmware is nothing but a software that is designed for a specific purpose and embedded inside a hardware, and you cannot change this firmware. For once it is programmed, the program is unalterable by the end user. So this is the definition of embedded system, and we can say that every embedded system is a unique system, and it is designed for a specific function. Like washing machine, somebody had told an example, washing machine, and yes, washing machine is an embedded system which we use in our day-to-day life. And this embedded system, it has a programmable chip inside it, and this it is designed for that particular function only. As it gets its input, like the power button is on, and as we give certain inputs to the washing machine, it is getting programmed. Whatever program is running inside is automatically functioning, and it is designed only for that particular purpose. So each embedded system is considered to be a unique system, and the hardware as well as the firmware is specialized for that particular application. You cannot use this particular one hardware that is designed for one particular embedded system for another embedded system. It is designed for the particular application for which it is intended to. So you cannot the hardware as well as the software which is embedded inside this hardware is designed for particular applications only. So and once it is programmed and once it comes into the into its functional stage, or once it is deployed into the market, you cannot, the end user can just use the system, he cannot alter the system. So washing machine also, we just use the system, we are unable to load a new program, or you cannot change the existing program to include more functionalities and all. So you can just use the system as it is designed, pre-programmed. So such systems, they come under embedded system. There are a lot of applications for embedded systems, like for washing machines. Apart from washing machine, you have air conditioners, then microwave ovens, even simple electronic toys, etc. They are all embedded systems. And digital cameras, and so on. So these systems, how they are designed, what are the design procedures to be followed, and what are the design techniques that are used in embedded systems is the main part of this syllabus. So hope the definition is clear to you. Did you understand the definition? So this first two paragraphs you should write for the definition of embedded systems. You should clearly write the two paragraphs. So now, can I call a computer as an embedded system? That's the next question. Can we call a computer as an embedded system? Can anyone answer, please? Can we call a computer as an embedded system? Amrita. Just unmute, and if you know the answer, just say. Otherwise, it's okay. Even if it's wrong, it's okay. You just need to interact with me, okay? Anyone else? Hope you have got your timetable, and you should be on time, okay, from tomorrow onwards. Somebody had joined late, I think. Hello. So do you know the difference between, can I call computer as an embedded system? That's my question. Hello. Anushri. So computers, we call it as a general purpose computing system. Computers are called general purpose computing systems. So what is the difference between this general purpose computing system, such as a computer, and an embedded system such as a washing machine or an air conditioner or a digital camera, etc. There are many embedded systems. So we will come across all these types when we discuss about the applications of embedded systems. So now we are just comparing an embedded system with a general purpose computing system. So a general purpose computing system, just your desktop computer or a laptop computer, you can consider any of these computers, desktop, laptop, or palm tops, or notebook computers, anything. And we call all these as general purpose computing systems because there are differences, around 5 to 8 differences are there. Around 7 differences are there. So first difference about between general purpose computing system and embedded systems is that the general purpose computing system, it is a combination of generic hardware and a general purpose operating system, and this can execute a variety of applications, which means did you understand what I said now? Can you understand what I'm saying? The general purpose computing system, it is a combination of generic hardware. Generic hardware is nothing but a hardware that has been designed for general purpose. Like you have your motherboard, your CPU, which are all are designed for computing purpose, and we are just assembling all these into a computer. So you can use any general purpose hardware to that you need as you need to assemble a computer system, and you can load any general purpose operating systems like Windows, Linux, etc. into your system, and you can do a variety of applications. You can download many applications into your system and use a system as per your needs. You can delete applications if you want and all. So the end user who are going to use a system can use a system as per their needs. They can use their own systems, they can install their own application, they can delete their own applications, etc. And computer systems and also the smartphones that we use today, they are capable of performing all these functionalities. And mobile phones, we cannot purely say it is a general purpose computing system, because we are not able to modify the operating system that is available, but you can load new applications. So it is midway between general purpose computing systems and embedded systems. Then the embedded system, when we come to embedded systems, it is a combination of special purpose hardware and embedded OS for executing specific set of applications. It can execute only only the application for which it is designed to. It cannot you cannot execute any application using an embedded system. It uses a special purpose hardware that is designed for a particular application, and for only in this hardware is useful only for that particular application. Like washing machine, it is applicable only for its functionality, like washing and draining, and other functions it will not, you cannot modify it into another hardware for which is suitable for another purpose. So it is a combination of special purpose hardware, and there can or may not be an embedded OS for electronic toys and all. For simple application, there need not be an embedded OS, but for highly sophisticated applications, you need an embedded OS, and it can execute only a specific set of applications. It will execute only the application for which it is intended to. So that is the first difference between a general purpose computing system and an embedded system. Now coming to the next point. The general purpose computing system, they usually contain a general purpose operating system. General purpose operating system, like you can install and uninstall it as per your needs. Then whereas in embedded systems, there may or may not be an operating system for its functioning. There are certain simple devices which does not need an operating system, whereas there are devices which needs operating systems also. So it may contain an embedded system or it may not contain an embedded system, but for general purpose systems, there should be an operating system for its functioning. Then the third difference is the applications are alterable by end users. When we come to general purpose computing systems such as a computer, desktop computer or a laptop, etc., applications are alterable or it is programmable by the end user. You can load any supported operating system into and make the computers work. But in the case of embedded systems, the firmware is pre-programmed and it is not alterable by the end user. As in the case of washing machine, once it is programmed and once it starts functioning, then it will function forever. That is until the end of its life. And the author of the textbook Shibukevi, your prescribed textbook, the author states these embedded systems. He defines embedded systems as reliable servants. Reliable servants, they sit hidden in one place or they sit in one place and they do all the work without complaining to their boss and doing the specific tasks assigned to them without getting tired until the last breath. And this is what an embedded, once it is programmed and put and once it starts functioning, then it will function forever until there is some damage or something occurs to the system. So anyway, these systems are designed to run for years, and so the hardware and the performance constraints should be considered in such a way that it suits the purpose for which the embedded system is designed to. Then the fourth point says that performance is the key selection criteria for choosing a general purpose computing system. That is, for computers and all, we go for much faster processors. There we use the usage. There we say that faster is better, and that is our motto for choosing computers or anything, any devices like smartphones and all. When you choose, you go for you always consider the speed of the device fast, and the faster it is, the better. And the performance is the most important evaluation criteria for selecting an embedded systems. Whereas in the case of embedded system, in the case of general purpose computing system, performance is the key factor. Whereas in the case of embedded systems, the application specific requirements are the key factors, deciding factors. Based on the application to which it is put, we determine the requirements of the system. Then the next point, going to the fifth point, it is less or not at all tailored towards reduced power requirements. We are not considering the power requirement. We just it is designed for a particular power requirement and it consumes the same amount of power all the time. But when we come to embedded systems, it is highly tailored. The embedded system should consider power saving modes because it is to run for years, so the power savings must be considered, modes must be considered, and that power saving modes must be supported by both the hardware and operating system. Then the sixth point is the response requirements are not time critical. That is, when we are using a desktop or a computing system or a laptop, the response of the system, it may take a few seconds to run a program. So when you are trying to run a particular program, it may take a few seconds, but we are just not bothered about the little time, extra time that is taken by these systems. Anyway, we go for if it is too slow, we go for much faster systems. But the response time is not critical in case of computers program for general purpose applications. Whereas for special purpose applications, if you are designing a system for special purpose applications, as in the case of embedded systems, there are certain application areas where time is response time is the key factor, key deciding factor. And if a particular event does not occur within the response time, within the specified time, then the system is a failure. So in such cases, in mission critical systems, we consider the embedded systems as highly critical, highly useful. For embedded systems should tailor its needs to the mission critical applications, like the time response should be highly critical. Then the seventh point is it need not be deterministic in execution behavior. That is, what do you mean by deterministic behavior and non-deterministic behavior? Hello? Can you understand what I'm saying? Hello? Someone please respond. Did you understand what I'm saying? So what was What was the last topic which I was discussing? What was the topic which I was explaining now? Can someone say? Okay, Amrita, difference between what? Difference. I was saying differences, and differences between what? Anyone can respond. Okay. Okay, general purpose computer and an embedded, it's not an embedded computer, it is an embedded system. Okay, general purpose system and an embedded system. General purpose computing system and an embedded system. Computers are not embedded systems, so you cannot say embedded computer. You can just say a system which is designed for one particular application. So we call it as embedded systems, not embedded computers. Did you understand? Hello? Just say embedded systems, okay, not embedded computers. And general purpose systems and computers come under general purpose systems. Embedded systems are those which are designed for specific applications like the automatic driving, the cars, automatic braking systems in cars, then which is designed for that particular application only. Then for industrial control application, there are devices that are used in industries which are automatically controlling the workflow, and such systems, such electronic devices are all the robotic arms for assembling the parts of the car and all. They are designed for that particular application only, and so we call them as embedded systems. It can be, so it is an electromechanical device which is controlling the work of assembly of a car. Hello. So I was saying the last point, it need not be deterministic. A general purpose system, a computing system such as a computer, need not be deterministic in execution behavior. So what do you mean by the term deterministic? Okay, what do you mean by the term deterministic? My next question is, what do you mean by the term deterministic behavior and non-deterministic behavior? I think you had studied these, you have come across these terms in your finite automata, deterministic finite automata and non-deterministic finite automata. Isn't it? You have heard of these, you are familiar with these terms. Deterministic finite automata, DFA and NFA, deterministic finite automata, non-deterministic finite automata. What is deterministic and what is non-deterministic? Can anyone say what is deterministic? Deterministic, pre-planned. Pre-planned means the what is going to happen. You can decide in advance what is going to happen next. So if I'm giving a particular input, what will be the output I'm going to get? It is if I know it in advance, then we call it as deterministic. Like when you move from one transition to another, if you're moving from a particular transition, the next transition, after reading an input, if we know the next state, then it is deterministic. If we don't know, if there are multiple next states, then you don't know to which state it is going to go. It is going, and so you can say it is non-deterministic. There are several outputs for a particular input, and which path it's going to follow, you cannot choose. Then we call it as non-deterministic. So here also the behavior of computings, when we come to the behavior of general purpose computing systems and special purpose systems and embedded systems, embedded systems or special purpose systems. So the behavior of general purpose computing systems need not be deterministic in execution behavior. That is, once you give an input, whatever output we are getting, if the program runs correctly, then you get the correct output. But sometimes there can be mistakes, and you may not get the correct output. And whether it is deterministic or non-deterministic, it will not cause any big damage to the system. But in the case of embedded system, execution behavior is deterministic for certain types of embedded systems, like hard real-time systems. For example, a simple example of such hard real-time system is you're going to apply brake since somebody jumps in front of your car, and you have to apply a sudden brake. But if you're not going to apply that brake, then what will be the end result? There will be a huge loss. But it will be it will turn out to be a dangerous situation. And applying that brake after a particular time, a bit later, if you're a bit late to apply the brakes in hazardous situation. So now a response is very critical. If you're not going to respond within a particular time, then it turns out to be a difficult situation to handle. So such behavior, so we should specifically, it should the behavior of the embedded system should be deterministic, and the deterministic behavior should happen for the special type of embedded systems like hard real-time embedded system. If it is a hard real-time embedded system, that is systems which should respond within a specific time, and if it doesn't respond within that specific time, then the response is of no use. And such systems are called hard real-time systems, and execution behavior should be deterministic for such real-time systems, hard real-time systems. So these are the differences. Around 7 differences are there between embedded systems and general purpose computing systems. Now, can someone say what were the points that we have discussed now? Are you writing down these notes? Hello? Are you writing down these points? So from tomorrow onwards, when you come to my class, when you attend my class, you should be ready with a notebook and a pen, and write down whatever I'm taking in class. Okay, I may ask to submit at any time the lecture notes. You should submit my lecture notes anytime when I tell you. After I can after 2 or 3 hours, maybe after 2 or 3 hours, sometimes I might say suddenly to submit it after the class and all. So you should submit it, the lecture notes that you are writing down. I want all of you to okay. Hello? Can you hear me? Abhilash, can you hear me? Okay, what did I say now? What did I say now? You should be ready with your pen and paper and a notebook. Write down whatever I'm discussing. Okay, write down the lecture notes. And whenever I tell you to submit it, you should submit it. Okay, you should submit the notes, whatever you have written down. Notes will be given, but still you have to write down whatever is taught in this lecture. Is there any difficulty in following? Hello? Am I clear to you, or is you can't understand anything? Can you understand what I'm taking? Hello? So tomorrow you have to read through all these notes. And I'll be asking 5 minutes question either in between or at the end of the class. Anyway, you should be prepared with all the portions which are taught in the previous class. There was one university question regarding this differences between embedded computing system and general purpose system. Once there was a question asked in university. So be ready, should study these differences clearly. Okay. If you have any doubt, just ask me. Any doubts regarding what I've taught so far? Hello? Harida? Any doubt? You may ask. So can anyone say what an embedded system is? Amrita P. What is an embedded system? What did you understand by an embedded system? We are just going to the introduction part. I didn't start the actual module. We are just speaking about introduction and the general questions that were asked in university. Hello, Ashwadi, can you answer? Sorry, okay. Somebody said an electric system. Who was that? Amrita.
Electric or electromechanical system.
An electronic, it is not an electric, okay? An electronic or an electromechanical system. Electronic, okay? Don't write electric, okay?
Okay.
An electric system is something that like an iron box which is plugged to the power. When it is given power, you can iron your dresses. It's not an electronic system. It is only an electric system. So you cannot call embedded system as an electric system. It is an electronic system or an electromechanical system. Can you call iron box as an embedded system? Maybe there are highly sophisticated iron boxes which are designed so, but a normal iron box, you cannot call it as an embedded, it's an electric system only. So an electronic system or an electronic or an electromechanical system that is designed for a specific function, isn't it? Only it can perform only one particular function for which it has been designed so. And also, and one more sentence you should add to this definition. First sentence, the first part of the definition says that it is an electronic or an electromechanical device, and second part says that it is specified, it is designed for a specific function, and third part of the definition says that it is a combination of both hardware and firmware. So there are three parts for that definition. It is an electronic or an electromechanical system designed for a specific function, and it is a combination of both hardware and firmware. Firmware is a software which is embedded inside a hardware. It is a software, it is designed for a specific function, and it is embedded inside a hardware. It is not alterable by the end user, and that is firmware. The software is something which we can it is alterable by the end user, but firmware, it is embedded inside a device and cannot be altered by the end user. So there are three parts for the definition. It is an electronic or an electromechanical system designed for a specific function, and it is a combination of both hardware and firmware. Okay. Okay, next person had stated that combination of hardware and software to perform a specific function. Didina had stated that also. Okay. Any doubts? If you have any doubts, please ask. Okay. Then I think we can wind up this session. Thank you. Thank you all.
പിന്നെ ബെല്ലടിക്കും ഓൺലൈൻ അനുസരിച്ച്